that's doing. Yay! We are live on Pink Frog. Hello, people. Right, okay, I'll just let people load on. I have got the YouTube stream also on, but the YouTube stream is on my my one. So hello to Sarah, Ruth, Rosie, hi. Moira, Sarah, Ruth, Chris, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Right then, so if you're dueling, pop yourselves over onto the Pink Frog Facebook page and say hello to me over there. I'm just waiting for people just to get on because it is literally bang on the dot, I believe, 4 o'clock. Go on then. So we're just getting people load onto Pink Frog. So hello everybody. Hi, hope you're well. I'm going to have, oh hi Jacqueline. Hi Trudy. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody else because I've got 2 streams on the go. There we are. Let's put them there. So if I do miss anything, apologies. So all you on YouTube, if you pop yourselves over onto the Pink Frog Facebook page as well and interact, because that's going to be my main one, is the Pink Frog one that you're seeing here. Hello Pink Frog. Right then, so to put yourselves in the picture today, there's 20% off the daisies I'm using and the foliage and more that I'm using. And also, you're not going to believe this, but the Greyboard is £6 for 10 sheets. Absolutely fabulous. And I'm also got, obviously, super smooth as well, because I'm going to try and get a card in as well. So I have cheated a little bit. I've prepped up some tags and I've prepped up a frame already. Now all I've done here is I've got one of my oval frames and I've just put some white acrylic on. Now what I've used on this one, which I was unsure about you guys, so I've used some textured paste on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp. So I'm not going to do textured paste or anything like that. So I'm going to stick to the stamps that we've got here in Privilege for Pink Frog. I'm talking to Pink Frog. Ta-da! Mum's Pink Frog's made it as well. So every time I do Pink Frog will be on here as well. I've just got to think of a name for her. She's got a book, Heart Principle, bless her. So she's sitting there. I dread to think what's going to happen to her, but hopefully we won't cause any carnage with her. So I've got an hour. Ha ha ha. Got an hour. Can you hear this? Let's start. As I say, I have cheated. I've prepped this one. So I'm going to put this one up here for you guys to see. And I'm going to put them up there out the way. And as I say, this is super smooth. This is the A5 sheets on the super smooth. I love these because all you got to do is fold them in half and you've got a card. So I might, if I've got time, do a full. If not, we'll have a little mini sort of thing there. But let's start with putting a bit of background. Now, I love these. And as I'm not doing any sort of, here we go, bibbledy-boo-dah. As I'm not doing any textured paste, I'm going to build up the stamps and I'm going to build up the foliage. So I'm utilising both. And then what I might do is emboss some of this beautiful writing. But it's a bit different when I'm not using textured paste. So I can actually put on like Friend or Smile, for instance. So yeah, this will be fun. So let's get the background on first. I am going to use I'm going to start off with some oxides, I believe. I'm going to have a bit of a brown in the background going into greens. I'm starting to play with the ink part of it. I don't know whether I like it yet, but we'll see. I'll tell you after today. Might be an interesting one. Now I know that I'm going to bring in this area here is obviously this. So I don't want to go too heavy with colour, and my framework will go around here, just so I'll put the brush around roughly. And I'm just going to build it up. I'm just going to put that bit of colour in because I'm going to put a little bit of water splash. Might even do a bit of bleach. Now if you're going to ask about the bleach ratio, it's 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 part water, 1 part bleach, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Now I'm going to stick to my greens. I do love the greens with this, and again, use whatever colours you like, you know. It's one of them pretty pink. Oh, Penny the Pink Frog, we've got a name. Should we call her Penny? Like it. Penny the Pink Frog, fabulous. That's it then, it's now Penny. It's official, I think. I quite like that. Why didn't I think of that? Goodness me. Anyway, how's everybody? It's Friday. Yay, start of the weekend. I'm hoping everybody's had a fabulous day. I'm just going to keep checking. I quite like the build-up of that, to be fair. Now, I'm going to put down just a bit of a darker, just to bring everything in. So, I am going to look at, oh, I'll tell you what I haven't used for ages. So, this is where you dig out everything that you don't use. Now, Rustic Wilderness, which is probably as juicy as the day I brought it. Why ever not? And I think, let me just tickle. We'll tickle. I'm tickling. Because the best thing with this is you can add foils on. The Greyboard's brilliant. Once you've put that acrylic paint over, or something, you know, I mean, you haven't got it. You could do it raw board if you wanted to. But I think, you know, if you're going to dress it up, unless you're going to put some beautiful papers on there, play around. Don't be shy. Yep. Got to put a bit of brown into that now, just to bring it together. I'm going to do a bit of antique linen. Why not? Put a bit of that antique sort of feel to it. Now, I've just got to remember what colours I'm using, so I just want to keep everything sort of the same with the card as well. So I'm going to put them colours there. I'm just so tempted. I'm going to put in a bit of peacock feathers just to play around with it a little. Let me just grab my brush for peacock. That'll do. Yes. Right, antique linen. Oh, dear me. If I had a brain cell, I'd be dangerous. You all know that by now anyway. So anyway, has everybody had a good thumbs up, everybody? Yes, Ruth. If you're on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you're on Pink Frog's page now, please also give it a thumbs up. Interact, because it helps with their streaming. So don't be shy to comment on this, even if you want to say, Leesa, shut up and just get on with it. Hey, I'm not partial. Let's, you know, let's have a bit of fun. It's Friday. So I'm also going to pop onto here just to keep this together. Let me just stream that up there. There we go. I'm just going to put a bit of antique linen on here as well. I'll tell you what would go nice as well on here. You know, if you had the sprays. I have got the sprays, but, you know, I'm just thinking time. No spray today. No spray today. Oh, that's when I start getting messy. And I'm just dying to just put a little. Don't shout at me. I just want to pull just a little bit of that. Oh, you know, don't be shy to mix up your colours. Be adventurous, especially when you've got such beautiful stamps. See, I'm seeing that now. Look at the difference. So I've just got to bring a bit of blue into that frame as well. So this is the difference when you pop that bit of acrylic down and you decide to then play around and put some different colours on just to get that different textures, different thing. If you have got textured paste, then you'd stamp and then you'd just pull along and just play around with it. But I'm not saying that, I don't know whether you haven't, you know. So I'm trying to be sort of as open as I can with you guys to think, oh, let's maybe just do some stamping. So I'm just going to dry it off a little bit. It might help if I plug it in. Dear me. Thank you, Chris. So guys, is everybody doing what they want to do in regards to having a fabulous weekend ahead? Has anybody got any nice plans? I think that's on. There we go. Yay, there we go. Now there is a link on the Pink Frog Facebook page with regards to the offers. So have a, oh hi, hello Mom. Mom's in the building. Froggy's in the building. There you go. So I'll tell you a little story. Well, it's a true story. So Mom's been doing them lovely bunny rabbits and she sold 2 today. She's so ecstatic. It's really made her day. So bless you. You know who it was. Thank you. You really have made her day. So I'm just blending that out a little bit. Now, I want to put some water splats on before I start putting on. Oh, I've got the hiccups. There we go. Before I start putting on any stamps, because then I can get that dried off and then I can play around with it. So this is just water I'm using at the minute. And I'm just going to just give it a little splatter. I'm going to use the bleach on the outer frame, but I'm just going to keep that to a bit of water there. Let me just get a tissue. I'm even prepared. Look at this. Tissue. Go on. I'm surprising myself now. Would you need to go on, Leesa? Oh, you would need to go on. Oh, I missed that bit then. I'm off for ladies. Oh, ladies night. Good one. Love it. Right then, so now look at that. Ain't that gorgeous? Let me just pop this up a little bit so you can see. There we are. Right, let me just put that on there. I missed your comment, so I do apologise. Hi Tracy, hello everybody. Oh, there we go. Crumbs, there's this comments there. I'm just blind as a bat. I do apologise to you guys. Apologies, I'm missing all your comments. Hi Louise. Oh dear me. Gwyneth, hi. Hope you're well, my sweetie. So let's get some stamps out. I like the way I've got that. So now you've got some gorgeous choices on here, and for my original one on here I used the large. So I'm gonna put that down first of all, and I've just got to be in my head mindful of just where that framework is. Thank you, Sharon. I love greens, are such a calming colour. Greens, blues with a little bit of brown in. That antique linen, I mean I do love, but I also love Ecology inks as well. So I thought for quickness today I'd stick with the oxides, you know, and I'm just going to keep it very simple. So I'm going to use Nocturne VersaFine Clair. Once it's dry, it's permanent, which helps obviously when you're using your Greyboard. So again, don't be shy to sort of play outside the box. Now I know I'm going to put that about here. So I'm going to hold it down and allow the ink to go on. Now you've got the acrylic paint and I've got oxides on there. So I know that this is going to be a little bit wet than normal. Are they your favourite colours, Sharon? Honestly, they're lovely. So look how well that has gone down. Now, is it, like I say, it is a little bit. Now, you can, in fact, I'll tell you what we'll do, because that's wet on there, that is perfect. Hi, Denise. It's perfect for you to get on. It is clear. Yes, clear. Goodness me, I had to check then. White powder, could be anything. Well, not in that sense anyway. However, it could be clear or it could have been white. So, let me just pop a bit of this on here. Now, knowing me, I end up with it sticking to everything bar the kitchen sink. So I have got one of my lovely little brushes, and I don't mind too much with it adding a little bit of extra oomph around, but I am just going to very lightly brush around because I really want that beautiful daisy to be like the forefront of this I don't know whether you want to call it a card. You could call, well, it is in a frame, so I suppose it'd be a gift that you're making for somebody. Now let me just give it a good tap. Let's get a bit harsh. There you go. In you go. And there's some amazing stuff. Have a really good look around on the Pig Frog site. You'll be surprised with what they sell. There's some fabulous stuff that's actually in there. So don't be shy. You know, have a good look. Now, I'm going to get my other... I say I'm going to get my other blaster on. Let me just see how long this takes to turn. I usually use my other one, but I've got plugs that are already taken up there. So I'm thinking to myself, do I test it? Do I chance it? Maybe not. I'll probably end up with no lights on and everything going off in the world. So let's have a look. Let's see if I can get this to turn quick. Oh, I think it's going. Oh, at last. There you go. See, it would all be done and dusted by now. So, let's have a look. Gift, yes me, please. There's no such thing as being late to any of the things that I'm on. I'm just glad that you've actually been able to join me. So please don't apologise if you haven't, you know, if you've missed the start. Pink Frog will upload this onto their YouTube, so for one you'll get to see it if you need to do a rerun. There'll be catch up, and I will also post it out as well, so you ain't going to be worrying about that. Okay, so let me now, I'm just going to nearly see, this is what happens when you don't use something that blasts good heat. So this is what I found with this, the embossing, yes it is an embossing heat tool, but it just doesn't, it hasn't got enough oomph for me. But it'll do for what I'm doing. That's the main thing. So as you can see, I've got that speckling around it now, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And I can feel it's just a little bit tacky still, which is a shame really, but we will persevere. I'll just blast some more heat on it. As you do. Bless you. So as I was saying, can you call dibs? You can call dibs if you want. You're the one sitting there. I'm the one creating. being a little bit mad. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, that's better. Right then, so I've just got to be mindful of that now, because I've not got, in fact, let me just see, without sort of moving all you lot on the YouTube stream, because I've got me one camera set up at a really funny angle. I can't say my words now. Right, there, that's better. Let's get that heated up. Right. Oh, it's all right, Ruth, don't worry. Family's far more important. That's better. That's doing now. Right, so, diddly-doo-dah. There's always somebody going to message me. Perfect. Better. Goodness me. There we go. Should have done that in the first place. Right, so I now want to use, so that's the beautiful daisy. Now you've got some lovely leaves, little bugs, bumblebees, dragonflies. How gorgeous are those? Absolutely. Honestly, you could make so much. I might actually put these along the framework. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. Do you know something? While I've got that out, let me see, I'm going to dual task here. Multitasking. You know what they say about women and multitasking? Say no more. Right, let's just put that there a second, and let me just build up. So let's put that there. What's your name? Right, being pink. Yeah, there you go. Pink frog on the weekend. Perfect. So I'm just going to sort of build up the two. Maybe so, I wouldn't say it's matching as such, but it'll complement the card, will complement the gift. So if you are doing this out as a gift to somebody, and a beautiful gift it would be, tell you what, let me see, I've seen it, and let's put the big bumblebee on. Yeah, how gorgeous is that? Delightful. I love a bumblebee. Let's pop this little devil here. Why not? So yes, these will be uploaded onto the Pink Frog YouTube channel. So don't worry. There we go. Oh, look at that. How gorgeous is that? So we can get some pencils on that if you want, or you can just really do some really loose watercolour. Again, options are yours, really. It depends on how you like to colour your stuff in, really. So I'm going to be a bit chaotic now. Nothing wrong with having a bit of chaos with me, as you do. So I'm going to get some of those beautiful, I mean, you could add so much more to this. Let me get that out of the way. Right, this foliage is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like this is like a rosemary leaf here. Very eucalyptusy. But yes, let's have a look. You look bumblebees, honestly, they're gorgeous. And you've got a smaller one as well in here. And you've also got two beautiful dragonflies. This dragonfly is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, so you've got a smaller one, which is a lot more delicate, which I love. Absolutely fabulous. I can watch two screens. Oh, Chris, you're multitasking. I love it. Nothing wrong with that, though. Fair play to you. That's all I'll say. Sometimes my eyes go funny if I start doing that. But, you know, that's going to look nice with that up there. So let me just pop that on here. Now, I've not used this on here. And I've also got wet. Yeah. Well, I say wet. No, it's dry now. Oh, there you go. See, honestly, this emboss it, load of nonsense. Right then, so let me just now, because we've got that on there, that should actually add as a resist for me. And if it don't matter. I can use it into something. So that's that. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little bit of a kiss there, as you do. So I want to bring that up here. So that should look quite cute there. Okay, now let's put that on. Perfect. Like it. So we've got that now. All I want to do is have a look on there. And then we need some foliage around the bottom of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some really... Now, I'm just going to take this off because I want to do a bit of random finger stamping. As in very random. Some of you that follow me regular will know that me and finger stamping is sort of... It has to be done. Now, there is that resist on there, which I'm quite okay with, because what I'm going to do is probably get a little bit of, well, maybe get a bit of textured paste, but we'll see. We will see. So all I want is that sort of, it to look, yeah, that's fine. That's all I wanted, was it to look as though something was going on. Now, let me just put this back on here. And I want to build up the card now. So this is a little bit more different because we're building a card up. I want to make sure that that twig's coming around here maybe. Yep. And then there's method in the madness somewhere along the lines, honestly. Let's just pull that up here. And then what I want to do is just bring it across there. So you haven't really got to ink up the whole of your pad. I always do. It's carnage when I start. So I'm just going to build that in now. Just do a couple of different layers. And again, you could just get your finger and just do a like that. Now you could get one of your masking and then go behind it if you wanted to. So I'm just going to quickly make me own. Oh, that wasn't the best, but let's just let's sort of wiggle it around a bit. Yep, that'll do for me. So if you've got more of a thought in your head, obviously I should have thought about this, but it's okay, I'll play. There you go, there's one. And then I'm just going to put that here, and maybe, yeah, maybe there you go. That's not bad for me, or even if I say so myself. So yes, Pink Frog have got some fabulous masking. Use that instead of being a little bit of a random. However, it's worked really well. So I'm liking that. And again, we haven't got the same effect on here because we've got all that lovely background. But I am going to put a background on here. So don't worry, I'm not going to leave it out as such. So let me put that over. That is an absolutely fabulous stamp. Now on there as well, you've got the, like I say, you've got the rosemary. You've got thank you, you've got have a perfect day. And I love this sort of matrix effect. I've just got to think in myself, what will that go with? You know, when I start thinking, that's where it's dangerous, because I end up thinking of something and then making something totally different. And you know what your crafting brain's like, it goes off on a tangent. Well, mine's terrible, absolutely terrible. So I've got those two lovely stamps. Let me just move my mess out the way, because it is looking a bit of a messy hoo-ha now. Let's just that'll do. That's a bit better. Let's sort of hide the carnage a little bit. Right then, so I'm going to put that out the way because I was just a bit dangerous with that, as you do. So background wise, I want to now put, so that's really is my focal point. So I want to pull in so I use a little bit of textured paste, a little bit. Okay, let me just do a little bit. I don't want to overdo it on that because I really like the way that that's gone, but I just want to put a little bit of something underneath to pull that onto there to allow you to focus on that, and then we can colour the bee in, which I think is beautiful. So let me get my little plastic spatula. Now I'm just going to put this on here. There's loads of different textured pastes out in the world. Don't be shy, mix colouring with it, play around with it. Don't buy the pre-coloured, well, you can buy the pre-coloured stuff if you want, but when you've got your own colours, and I've used Inkology, I've put oxides, distress sprays in, you name it, I've put it in. So popping that there, I'm just going to quickly just where those beautiful little leaf heads are, and this is all you do for that daisy effect. Now the only problem with this is it does take a little bit to dry on this particular product I'm using. So what I would say to you is, if you are looking to have a quick dry product, there are products, so I'm not going to start naming them when I'm watching, but there are products out there that dry really, really quick. So have a look at that, you know, because I think it's only fair that I'll be totally transparent with you. So this particular product I'm using just takes forever. I've been lovely using that. Well, I do everything. I cheat a lot and I do things really quick and just mad. I'm just mad. I'm just going to use some of that lovely Pink Frog glue now. Now, I have got these are fabulous, especially when I'm gluing like my boxes and stuff like that and gluing onto this. But you've got the thin one and you've got the thicker one, because I want a good spreadage. Is that a word? It is today. I'm going to use it straight out basically, and I must admit, for grab and does what it says on the tin sort of thing, this stuff's brilliant. All it is now is the fact that I've got to have a look where everything is and make sure it's on there. Just where I can't see on the comments, click vertical dots at the top. Yes, that's right. Sarah, you've just found it fabulous. I love it. It's so good when you guys all work together with each other and just like, oh, I found this out and oh, this has happened. It's fabulous to see that. It's a fabulous group of people, to be fair. And you're all behaving. Nobody's on the naughty step. We're all being good. Let me just move that over a smidgen. There we go. That'll do. Now, obviously, as you can see, this glue's bursting out because it's so excited to be there. Let me just get one of my old brushes. Let's have a look. Which one should we use? An old brush. That one will do. There we go. Now, this glue dries clear, so I'm not too worried about where it's going to go, what it's going to do. But just be mindful that you do, if this is a gift to somebody, that you want it to look sort of pretty, nice, you know, all along those words. So for me, especially if you're going to put like a gloss or a varnish over it, it's an easy way to sort of do it. Now I am just making sure, just running across here, and I can put, I mean, I've got, you know, them little pegs that you can get. I've got some of them. And all I just want to do is just make sure everything's held. This glue's brilliant. It does not take long to grab and do what you need to do. So I've got all these white little blobs coming on now, which are fabulous. So I want to just build this up a little bit, just to give, now I say to give it a bit of depth. Realistically, we've got this beautiful, beautiful daisy. And I want that to be the focal feature. And I'm quite happy with having this in the background. Now, all I'm going to do here is just pull. And I'm just going to get a brush on it in a minute. But I'm actually going to bring this to the edge. Now, you're probably not going to see the full effect of this because it needs to dry. But I am going to just play around with it. I'm just going to put that on there, put that in there, and let me just get my other brush. Now I'm just gonna put some, just dab it off, just some little stipples, little effects. But you can actually now take this into the actual picture. Now I know I said I wasn't going to use any textured paste, but if you've got plaster of Paris, white acrylic paint and glue, there's your textured paste basically. You just mix it up. If you haven't got plaster of Paris, you can use flour, you can use corn flour. There's loads of different, everyone's going to say use this, there's loads. Honestly, just ask, go on YouTube if you need to, and it will tell you everything that you need to know how to make your own textured paste. But for easiness, I've just brought a pot of it, you know, one of them. So, but this glue's brilliant. So I've done a bit of dabbing, a bit of doodah and all that. Let me see if this is going to dry it any quicker. We're off again. Hi Lynn, hope you're well. Just see your wave there. Nearly. So while that's drying, let's concentrate on the little card now. So I am going to grab me that there, and I am going to actually, because this hasn't been out long, as I don't waste things, I find when people start throwing things away and just, I'm very much about, let's recycle, let's keep things going, let's be real. Okay, let me just, and I'm even wiping, look at this, honestly. If not, then you're going to have to get a blade later and just scrape it off. So you may as well wipe it off while it's still moist as such. Why make yourself more work, you know? Right then, let me just dry my hands off. There we go. Let's put that over yonder. Okay, so let's let that dry. Let's pop some detail onto this. So, oh, there we go. I'm going to do a nice light green, very, very light in the background. So where did I do? Did I put them away? Did I move them? Did I have a brain moment? I tell you what, let me get a bit of shabby shutter. So I'm going to do quite a light. I do love this colour. Beautiful colour. So we're just going to have just a light, because we could sort of have it as a bit of a fake, you know, a fake background as such. I mean, you could there's so many different things you could do with this now. Let me just put a quick blend over. A very quick blend, Mr. Bumble. Right, okay, so put that on there. I'm going to pop a bit of, ooh, I tell you what, let's put a bit of wild honey in. Let's go for it. So we have got different colours now to complement this, but I'm going to pull that into there. Let's bring that into here. So I do like to try and keep the colour, especially if you're doing a card, to sort of complement, you know, if this is going to be a gift for somebody. I will try and pull in. Now, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I think we might be all right. Let me just pull a bit of that into here. Now, I'm not too worried about that being a bang, sort of in-your-face moment, because I am going to add other parts onto it. I just want to start pulling in colour to complement both together. And this is where you've got to sort of take out your head, what could happen. Well, whatever could happen, all you've got to do is wipe it off with a bit of water, if that's the case, you know, or paint over it and start again. Don't ever be shy to sort of experiment and play around when you're creating stuff. Right, I'm just going to pop a little bit of antique linen. Oh dear, wrong, but I didn't even change my brush. Go me. I'm going to keep that white, as you do, because otherwise all I'm going to do is bleach it out and play around with it. So on here now, I want to build up some really, so I'm probably going to put some blues into this. So I am going to use some Inkology. So I am going to use some turquoise around this area here. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight on. A bit adventurous now, look at this. And then I'm just going to squirt some water onto this now. It's never me unless there's water involved. Now this is Greyboard, and it's had that lovely, oh look at that, woohoo, love it. It's had that lovely acrylic paint over it, so it's actually got a sort of seal on there. Now I'm not saying that that's going to stop anything, but I love that sort of splodge, carnage sort of effect. Let me just get my burner out. Woo, there we go. Oh bless that, now I've got run. It's always the way. Let's just quickly quite liking that blob of colour there. Yes. Very nice. Perfect. The only problem is it just sounds like I got the Hoover on the go. Right, so I'm quite liking that now. It's all building up nicely. I want to get some colour into that now. Let me just investigate. As I didn't think I was adding, let's have a look. Let's have a look. What we got in here? Right, let's have a look. So we're going to put this on, I think. So I've got a bit of liquid pearls. I don't know whether this is going to work, but is it going to even come out? Oh dear me, really? Well, oh, see, if I squeeze that too hard, it's going to squirt me in the eye. I can just see it now. It's all right. When every craft room deserves a pin. There we go. Let me get my magic pin. Resolves everything, this does, apparently. Ta-da! Right then, let's have a look. Let's put that there and cover it with what's it? Yeah, is it going to work now? Let's have a look. Well, oh yeah, it will do. So I'm going to put a little bit. Why not? Mr. B. And I'm just going to put him a little bit here, as you do. Now, I know bees are normally like yellow, but I haven't got yellow to hand. So guess what? It's going to be that. So I am actually going to put this into match. And I'm just going to do dots here and there, just so it gives you that lovely effect of that stencil. Well, the stencil, what's the name for these things? That middle bit of the flower anyway. That was just terrible, honestly. What on earth? Let's see if this one's going to work. Oh, yeah, that one's going to work. Carry on. Bless you. There you go. Everybody knows it's Carrie Ann now. She's incognito. So, again, you haven't got to use a paint as such. You can use whatever you want, really. It's all about your creativity and what you've got to hand. Not everybody has got textured paint, like I've said, but I've just given you a recipe to make your own. Or how to. Go and get yourself on YouTube and how to make textured paste. Or you can just colour it in. You know, you could get your watercolour pencils, be adventurous, add some different colours and different depths. Or you could do this, make a mess like I'm doing with some, what do you call it, liquid pearls. Well, I wouldn't say I'm making a mess. However, it's given a different effect. Why not? Different effect. That definitely needs some white or something. And let me get me white. Now, the white I'll use, depending on what I'm doing, but I'm going to use this one, the bleed proof, right? Dr. P.H. Martin's is the best white on the market. I have not come across anything any better. And if you think that there is, literally, I've tried every white out there. And this is the one I've come back to. So I am now just going to dot here and there very gently. And bear in mind, we've got that resist underneath. So it's going to take a bit, but this white does dry. And I just want it here and there just to give that lovely effect. Now, I'm liking that. So let me I'm just going to wipe that off my brush a little bit. As you do. And you know where we had this rough, and you want to just pull in a different effect. This is where you can just add a different depth in now. Because if you're thinking about the different layers that you've actually got on there, this is the way that you can sort of get away with it. Now, I am going to put in, oh no, have I got, let me just, yes, I have. There we go. So, Stickles, Stardust. Stardust are wings. I don't care where we are in the world. Especially if you're dealing with fairies, but these make the most beautiful wings ever. So this is, I've always got plenty of this in. I have to hide it from my mum, you see, because she'll find it. So look at that. How pretty is Mr. B now? Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there with the help of a few bits and bobs. Right, so bear in mind, we've got to do the same now to the other card. Let me do it. Oh, we're doing all right for time. I just want a bit of colour. Now, let me just put that in me. Let's get that out of the way. I want some green. Now, I'm going to go quite a darkish green, and I'm going to use seaweed on the Inkology. Let me just find a brush. As you do. Oops. Is it going to be that one? Yeah, that will do. That one will do. Now, if you can put it down on a glass mat if you wanted to. I am just going to dab a smidgen because I don't want to waste it. This stuff's like gold dust. Love it to bits. Now I'm just going to be mindful and just think, I just want to put a little bit of depth in these leaves. Now, depending how artistic you are, I mean, I can go really OTT with this, but I'm not going to, because, you know something? You create you, I'll create me. So I'm just going to do the idea that I've actually got more leaves coming down here. Yeah, because if you remember, we done that we done that beautiful print, very eucalypsy sort of foliage, which I love. And I want to do it justice by showcasing that out, because these are beautiful stamps, and there's 20% off, don't forget. So the link is on the Facebook group page. So if you're not on there, get yourself on there and it'll take you directly. And this includes the Greyboard, which I'm using as well today. I mean, how fabulous is that? You get all these lovely discounts and things. There you go. Right, okay, let's just spread that around a bit. Now I'm just going to have a little bit of water, because that's me. It's got to have a bit of water. So I'm quite happy with how that looks now. So let me just put that there, diddly-doo-dah and whatnot. Right, let me just get a bit of a bleach splash on this now. So let me grab the bleach. And then we can finish off the lovely card. Hey, we're doing all right for time. So this is my bleach pot. As I said, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So a splodge of bleach and a splodge of water. And that's it. Dead easy. Now, if you're going to ask me about brands, this is only Asda. There ain't no fancy. It's not Domestos. Can't afford that, you know. And to be fair, Tesco's I used to use. However, Asda is better. Now, with bleach, as you can see, we've got a different scenario happening with that colour now. It pulls out beautifully. So if you feel that things are too dark, or you're not liking them, I mean, look at the difference that's made now onto that piece. Now, I'm going to let that dry, because we've got the liquid pearls, we've got the glitter with Mr. B, and then we've got this lovely bleach effect. Let me just dab off just a little. It smells lovely in here. You know when you want smell-o-vision? Yeah, I'm liking it. So I'm going to put that there a second, because I want to bring in this little beauty. Now, I am going to splat on a bit of bleach. Now, I love the effect of bleach, and if I'd sort of had a real moment and went, oh crikey, let's do it all over, I would actually be bleaching out this card. So let me just show you what I mean by that. This will give you another idea of what you can do. This is the Super Smooth 300 GSM. It's not watercolour card, but my gosh, does it act like a watercolour. It's absolutely fantastic. I've never known a card act like a watercolour card in my life when it's not a watercolour card. And it's so difficult now, because if you realise just the cost of things are just like creeping up and up and up. So if you've got these offers on, grab it, because I tell you, they're absolutely fabulous. Now the difference is it just brings out that stamp. And this stamp is gorgeous. Both of these stamps are on offer, as I've said. I mean, look at that. That has totally changed that card. Now I'm happy with that card. I like it. Let me put my lid back on, because I don't want to confuse my water pot from my bleach pot. And I've done that before. Oh yes, I got the letter too. And you say, oh, there you go. Yes. So if you sign up, let me just put you onto the picture, because a lot of you guys are forgetting to do this. You sign up for the newsletter with Pink Frog. They will then send you a code with 10% off. Now, you've got these offers now today for 20% off stamps, etc, etc. If you go and put your code on and check out, you've got another 10% off. You guys are missing a trick. So please, if you're on Pink Frog and you're doing your thing, don't forget to use your 10% code, because I can't believe you're all missing that trick. You have your special offers and you're forgetting to put your 10% on. I'm all about saving money. Come on, you guys. What are you like? What are you doing to me? So we've got that. I'm going to let that dry. I'm happy with that. Let's just do a quick. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's get a bit of Super Smooth. This is the A5. Let me let that dry off. Let me let that dry. Let's have a bit of carnage on a card. I ain't done a bit of carnage for ages. So we've got these beautiful things on this stamp. Let me show you what you get with these stamps. You get this gridding, you got this matrix effect, you get these beautiful photos, and there's some small detailed stuff here. It's absolutely fabulous. And then these, you've got 20% off. I thought I said the wrong thing then. But these dragonflies are gorgeous. Diddly doo dah. I definitely see. I mean, these have never been used. Let's use them now. I want to see what this is all about. Now, I'm going to do some crazy finger stamping, because we've got 10 or 15 minutes for us to play around. Look at that. So I've done a gift. We'll let it dry. I've done a card to go with it. let's have a dabble. Now I'm just going to use black because I can. Why not? Now all I'm doing is just, I'm just going to make a mess, but my messes sort of always end up doing something. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's have a bit of grunge. So let's see what we can. There we go. Why not? So that already as a background is fabulous. So that's just me going blob 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 blob. I don't know. It's all right. I won't hurt you. The men in white coats will come for me one day. Then we'll sit and make cards together. Then you see, it's going to be great fun. Now, and do you know something? Let me just. I want to see the detail on these little dragonflies, because sometimes you look at things and you think, oh, what's the detail really like? Let me show you. Now I'm going to use, let me use a stamp, let me use a block, because I don't want to do it with my finger just in case I misprint. So I want to give you the detail and the justice that's there. Let me move that out of the way. There you go. Wow. Okay, this is stunning. So let me just show you the detail. Oh, look at that. Little diddly diddly. Look at that. Let me just take it to you guys as well so you can see. How fabulous is that? So that's what you see is what you get. And that's what I like when you buy a stamp. Sometimes when you put it down you think, oh crumbs, what's all that all about? But you know something, it actually is. Let me just let's have a look at that. Oh, okay, yeah, let's have a play. Let's put Mr. B in here. Oh yes, look at that. I'm going to turn that around because it's on my finger. There we go. Let's do some random bees. Do you know something? This is really, it's very much like the Gucci, a Gucci bee. Very Gucci. I like it. I like a bit of Gucci. Do you know something? I'm absolutely. Let me just do a little bit of. So this is just a bee on his own. Now I like to sort of do a creative corner. I call it a bit of a mess. But if we're doing a bit of grunge, this would be fabulous. So let me just put Mr. B and let's just fly him out. Yep, okay. So that's built up really nice as well. So let me just pop him back on there. Now we've got some beautiful flowers. Again, I'm just going to do a random. Oh, yay. I'll tell you, you can't fault the detail, especially with how I'm putting these on. With my finger, these are stamping beautifully. In fact, I want to do it justice. I want to turn it around that way. There we go. There we go. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm going to build these flowers around. So for me, just doing a random mess, I think we're building up something quite interesting. I'm going to use the bigger stamp again. I'm going to put that on a block because I can. There we go. Let's do that. So I am going to put this larger one here. Yep. So for just building up, and that's all we're doing. Just don't, get yourself a piece of card and just cause a bit of mess, because look at, I mean, this is turning out really nice. And some of you might be going, good God, what's she doing? For those of you that don't know me, this is what I do. Ah, dear. It's okay. And I think I'm going to put special friend on. Why not? Let's have a look. So let me do it this way. I'm going to put special there. Let's see if I can do it this way. Or shall I do it like that? Special friend. Yeah. Now, there. I'm going to put it there and there. Now, this is what happens when you can't be bothered to get your contraption out. I mean, contraption is one of them Sussex things. I call it a contraption. And you just have to get your head around things. It's one of them. So, yeah, that's the way I'm going to mark it up today. Why not? Now, these are lovely block. There you go. That'll do there. That'll do me fine, that will. Now, if you don't like it, it's dead easy, really, because, look at that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, actually. Let me just pop it down and do a secondary print. I like to do an undershadow, especially when you've got beautiful, look at that. So, as you've just seen, I'll do the first one, and then second generation, I'll move it down just so you get that drop shadow. Such an easy way to get a lovely effect, especially if if you're a bit like me and you think, oh, diddly doo-dah, let's just do a random, you know, just play around. Nothing to lose at all. Apart from your sanity sometimes, because then you'll do something, you'll think of something else to do. So, shall we add a bit of colour to this? Oh, shall we? Let's do a bit of colour. Because we've done a bit of carnage. And I'm just being mindful of time now, people. Gosh, look at me. I'm doing ever so well. Let's see what the comments are saying. The past year has flown by. Honestly, it really, really has. It's gone so quick. It's unbelievable. I mean, can you just believe May is already coming along? It's like, wow. Right then, let's have a look at some colours. Let's go proper. Bam. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's do. I like my Victorian, what's it, a bit of shaded lilac. Let's go quite delicate. Let me get antique linen. As you've probably gathered by now, I do like my antique linen. Let's have a look, that'll do. Antique linen is a lovely base if ever you're doing a bit of card making. And it'll give a lovely effect in a different way. Or if you put this down first and then build off it, it's a lovely undertone to have. So again, just understand different ways that you can utilise what you've got maybe. So let me just pull that through there. Happy with that. So that's antique linen and that's on the oxide. Let's have one of those, and let's have, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll have to get that one. It's a bit harsh, but it'll be okay. Right, let's have a look. So, Victorian velvet, beautiful colour. And it makes a difference in a card. And especially if you're using, if you're doing like skies and stuff like that, I always have a bit of Victorian velvet in because it gives that little bit of extra depth. So again, play around with your colours and see what works for you, because the colours I'm using, you might think, oh crumbs, really? What are your colours? You know, tell me about what you like. Right, let's have a look. See, this it might work. It might work. It might work. Let's have a look. Right, let me just pull a little bit here. A little bit here. Right, let's pull that through. Don't like that. So let me go like this. Perfect. So if you're not liking the colour you've put on, don't be shy to then blend another colour over it. Again, let me get my antique linen. If not, get yourself hickory smoke, anything like that. So don't be shy to experiment, play around, do what you need to do. What's the worst you can do at the end of the day? Think, oh, I've just ruined it. Maybe not, because all you've got to do then is put some water over it, and then voila, you've got an effect, something then that you're happy with, if that makes sense. I am a bit of a carnage sort of person when it comes to creating. You'll get it. And I think just to put a little depth in, let me just grab peacock feathers. Why not? Let me just have a little bit of something. Yeah, why not? And all I'm doing is just tickling this into places. So the tip of the brush is just touching, you know, it literally is just leaving a little trail, which is fine because I don't want anything heavy on there. So to me, to blend that out now, I'm just going to get this yellow and I'm just going to blend that out just here and there, because that will complement your antique linen. And if there's anywhere that's a little bit darker than what you should or you wanted it to be, that will then play around with that. So next, let's have a look. Water. So I'm not doing bleach on this. I'm just going to put some water on. And already the colours are moving with those oxides. Now you can tap it. You can be quite vigorous with it if you wanted to. Again, it's whatever you feel is relevant. I'm being quite heavy in places, but that'll do. Let's have a look at that. Let me get me a piece of tissue. Let's dab it here, dab it there. So that now, with that bit of gridding, you know, I think that's absolutely cool. And if you don't like it, chop it. You got a tag, or you could do it into 4. Really, keep the special friend bit. well, whichever. But I think that is all right. Now, do I need to add a couple of spottles on? Maybe, maybe not. Would you? Would you get yourself... Let me just move Pinky Frog out. Bye. Penny the Frog, that was it. Penny the Pink Frog. Love it. Right, let's just have a look at this. Oh, nearly dry. Just a smidgen. Trust me. It's okay. If we're going to do it, I might as well do it well. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little bit of twinkles on here now. So let's just give these little added extras on this one. There we go. A little bit here, a little bit there. Why not? And I think just sometimes you just need the smallest of things. And because that's our focal point, I'm just going to add just a little bit here and there. Nothing major. And I'm just scratching just where that interpretation of the leaves, the petals will be. And then obviously you've got that beautiful carnage there. I forgot what it's called, but hey ho. My brain's not with it. I'm sure you're all shouting at me saying, yeah, bet it's this, bet it's that. These low shows are great for, you're on your own. Oh, Chris, well, you know, hopefully we'll get some more on the go for you. But yeah, so I think that, you know, with that bit of glitter on the bumblebee's wings and that just bleaching that out with that colour, that I like that. I like that. That's a different one. That's a different one. So again, we've got different scenarios, different, you know, whatever you've got in your stash, use at the end of the day. The bleach is like really given a really rustic effect. It looks like you've actually put textured paste on there when you haven't. And all this is Greyboard. Yeah, this is all it is. And that's on offer, don't forget, £6 for 10 sheets. That's an absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. And then you've got your super smooth, which I've bleached it, I've wet it, I've now put a wet product on. It's all perfectly fine. And then this one, we've just gone proper carnage. Now, I'll tell you what, let me just do a little bit of a bleach out. Let me just put that there to dry. Let's just get a little, let me get a little, oh bless you, Lynn. The stamps are on offer, so if you're liking them, grab them while you can. That's all I'm going to say. Especially when they are on offer. I love it when we get offers. I mean, there's been that many offers just lately. It's like, I mean, offer overload, isn't it? So I'm just going to put a bit of bleach on that just to bring these daisies out. You know, these main big ones. I think they're absolutely stunning. They make such a striking part to a card. And especially if you're doing this sort of effects as well, which is great. But again, if you don't like, or if you've got any problems with bleach, you can use Milton tablets. Anything that will take away or give like that bleached effect. So there we go. Voila. So I have managed to do, I don't know how, but I've managed to do 3 projects for you in an hour. Goodness me, this means that now, just to prove to myself, I can actually, you know, remain quite civil. I can actually do this within a time constraint. Goodness me. Right, so let's do a recap. Let's get all the wet things out the way before it move that, do this, do that. So we started off with the gorgeous ovals. If you're wanting the ovals, they are available on my Shopify shop. That's it, was a mouthful. Good job I've not had a gin and tonic yet. Yep, they're all on there. Links will be on my own page. You'll have to follow me because I can't take any more friends, unfortunately. But yeah, just follow. It's on there. On the YouTube, there's also a link on there. But for you guys in Pink Frog, the offers, you got 20% off the stamps. So the stamps I've used today are the Daisy stamp. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 stamps on that, flipping it. And then you get the Foliage and more. So these are on 20% off. Absolutely fabulous. Get yourself on there. And don't forget, before you put the order in, you've got 20% off. Use your discount code and get a further 10% off. Goodness me, come on you guys. Start using that 10% code. It's sent out to you in the newsletter. You have to subscribe for it. You know, so please, 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 please use it with the discounts. You got £6 on 10 sheets. 10 sheets of Greyboard. This stuff is brilliant. It is 2,000 microns, which is 2mm thick. I have got so many products I'm doing with this at the minute. It's absolutely brilliant. So, I'm conscious of time. We've got 1 minute to go. And ta-da, people, I've done it. Hey. So, I will mat and layer that. We have a card which complements the gift, which is a little bit different for me with the bits and bobs that I've put on it. But it's something different. So, thank you so very much for joining me. Have a fabulous weekend. I look forward to watching this on the catch-up. So, I'll see you all later. That's Sarah, Marie, Moira, Lynn, blah, 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 blah. The whole lot of you. Thank you so very much. So, I'm going to go now. I'll see you all later. Love to you all. Bye.